Hi, and welcome back to the Truly Kenya podcast. Whether you are watching us on YouTube, if you are visual, or listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, welcome back. So, I'm trying to bring you guys super interesting people that you may or may not have heard of. And I think we've done a really good job. So, I think today you're going to really enjoy Neferteri Plessy and Cole Patterson. They are co-founders of the Single Moms Planet, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then Cole also has a makeup line, especially for men, called the Cole Skincare for Men, right? Okay. And then Neferteri is a former Playboy playmate. Okay. I was thinking like she is really, okay. But she is also, like I said, she has moved that into being a business strategist, and she has her own coaching company called Elevated Strategist. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, God, you guys, I mean, we're gonna really cover a lot. You've been through a lot. You see, no wonder you like have fun, have fun. Okay. Okay. So, well, welcome to the Truly Kenya podcast. And as I was reading about you guys, we really do have a lot in common in that I had a single mom. Nefertiri and I are both from the Bay, and you guys know how I feel about the Bay. And skincare, I'm always interested in skincare. And then looking at Cole's face, I did not find not one thing wrong, like not a blemish. So whatever she gonna tell us or share with us about skincare, or she is selling for your son, your husband, your loved one, I'm thinking it's a good investment, okay? Because this skin is popping over here. But we are single or somewhat single. I'm single. Forget them. I'm single. I'm dating, but I'm single. And I'm just really excited, seriously, to have you guys here to talk about everything that you're doing. And you guys have been friends, it seems, for a while, just as I watch your interaction with each other. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How'd you guys meet?
Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met in the entertainment business, modeling. I was a makeup artist at the time. Yeah.
On
and
set, long times, lots of hours on sets.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And then you just connected that way.
Yeah, we always connected. We would see each other all the time. And then I believe once we had our first baby boys,
Yeah.
it kind of brought us a little bit more together. Because I was still living in Atlanta when I moved to LA.
So you were
We
already
kinda
in
connected.
LA when she came?
I was living between Miami and Los Angeles. So I was flying back and
Yes.
forth.
Oh, okay. So then you both end up here.
We both end up in Los Angeles.
And how do you decide to start mommy's the single moms planet?
That came after a while though. So we were married.
Yes.
And we weren't necessarily we were pregnant at the same time somewhat
We
too.
were pregnant at the same
Oh,
time with
wow,
our
okay.
sons, but I
Right.
think I was probably 3 months behind.
Okay.
Yes.
The Single Moms Planet came about, they were probably about four or five.
4 or
Okay.
5.
Yeah.
But you guys were friends
Yes.
during your marriages and having the babies and everything. Okay, so I have a question for each of you. Did you know her marriage wasn't going to last? And did you know her, like, were you thinking, like, or and vice versa? Or would you like, I don't think he's the right fit? For whatever reason. Like, I don't know.
Not
Like,
necessarily.
or were you both
You know,
surprised about each other's?
at first, when Cole and I reconnected,
Yeah.
I had never met her significant other
Okay.
until they were together. Right. So I didn't really have a preconceived
Okay.
notion about who he
Okay.
was.
Okay.
I thought that he was a great guy,
Yeah.
but I also wasn't 100% sure if they were a good fit.
Okay.
Because I knew Cole's personality more than I knew him.
Okay.
You know, but I think it was just I didn't really have like a big opinion about it. I just
Yeah.
was like,
She was confused.
I
She
was
was a little,
confused.
and
That's
like most
true.
of my friends were really confused about like
Your choice.
That's accurate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, they were really confused. They were like, wait a second, and I believe they just stayed silent.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? As
Mhm.
what friends should do, and
yes,
just
that is what we
support.
do.
Right.
You don't really just go start spilling certain
Right.
situations, but that one trigger
Yeah.
might happen where you might say something. They be like, "Well, I figured that wasn't a good fit for you because you were
Right.
like
Later.
this," and
Yes.
it's
Yes.
there were a lot of qualities that I overlooked.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
Mhm.
we all do that. You know
Right.
what I mean? We've
Yeah.
or we have all done it at some point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The thing though with the friends is, yeah, we do sit quiet because we are basking in your
Mhm.
happiness. However, when you start telling the shit, okay? I mean, if you're gonna start telling the stories about something that didn't happen or something that did happen and something that didn't go right, when you get over it, because you will get over it, and
Mhm.
you and your significant, y'all gonna be fine. But we still over here pissed about it. You know what I mean?
That
So
can happen.
yeah. So you really have to be careful about what you are going to share and not, because y'all over here lovey dovey kissing. We like this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we still stuck in it. But that is a good friend. Oh, okay. So you guys are really,
We've been through a lot together.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
we've
I
been
think
through a lot.
we give each other space to go through individual bliss and hardship,
Yeah.
right? It's like, just because you see something
Yes.
doesn't mean that other person isn't aware of it. They just
Mhm.
may not be ready to deal with it.
True.
Or they may have a long-term plan on how they're going to
Mhm.
execute.
Mhm. Mhm.
And they may not be sharing it
Right.
with you, right?
Right.
So sometimes it's just staying silent and being in
Right.
prayer, unless it's like abuse, right? Like
Right.
domestic
Right.
violence,
Right.
that's a
Right.
totally
Yeah,
different
that is different.
situation.
Yeah.
But when it's, just normal relationship issues,
Yeah.
you thought the relationship was going to be this and it ended
Mhm.
up being something totally different.
Right.
Sometimes it's best to
Yeah.
mind your business.
Yeah. And I think it's okay to
Yeah.
say, I'm minding my business, but if you
Mhm.
need me, you just
I'm
call.
here.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I
Yeah.
think that is good too. But okay, so you're having kids and you're going through life together. So did you start your individual companies prior to coming together to form Single Moms Planet?
We were still in the entertainment business, really, really like in it. So
Okay.
I believe when the children happened
Mhm.
and they were toddlers, it was one of those things. It's like, we don't want to do this anymore, be in the entertainment business, or what's the exit strategy? What's the transition
Mhm.
from what we really want to do far as building businesses that was sustainable?
Yeah.
And I believe Neferteri, she did have a vision for a community, something
Oh.
community, and to reach out, because there
Uh-huh.
were times when she had modeling gigs and I
Yes.
had to be on set for
True.
85,000 hours.
Yes.
Who was going to watch the children?
Right.
And then the fathers were working as
Yes.
well.
Working.
So,
Mhm.
it was one of those things. It's like, geez, what am I going to do? So the juggling of trying to figure that out and be a working mom,
Mhm.
especially in the entertainment business, was very difficult.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you guys were really able to help each other with a lot of
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely, we're able to help each other. Also, just so both of us were raised by single mothers.
Mhm.
That was really the origin of Single Moms Planet.
Okay.
And what we discovered, even from our marriages and then marriages that didn't necessarily
Right.
work out, was that there were tools that we were both missing.
Mm.
From just, communication, how to have a healthy, happy relationship, and then even how do we want to raise our children.
Mhm.
And I was thinking of, there needs to be a better way, right? And even when I was going through my divorce, and even when we entered the divorce, I didn't take off my wedding ring for almost 2 years because I
Really?
felt ashamed of being divorced. I didn't want to be called a single mother
Yeah.
or labeled as someone that had young
Right.
children. And, where is the father type thing, because their dad was still there. We just weren't together, but there
Mhm.
was a big stigma around people who, when they see you with little children.
Mhm.
And I looked really young. Everybody's like, oh, these are your little brothers. And I'm going, these are my children.
Mhm.
Right. And they're like, well, what happened? Where's the father? It's all these
Mm.
conversations that come about that really is no one's business.
Mhm.
Right. And so I kept my wedding ring on for about 2 years and realized, you know what? I need to get some counseling.
Mhm.
So I got counseling. I even was going through counseling when I was pregnant with my second son,
Mhm.
just because I was crying every day. We were going through our divorce during that time.
Mhm.
And I knew that there was something missing that I didn't know how to tap into. And I needed community.
Mhm.
And that was really when I started reaching out to Cole,
Mhm.
started reaching out to other women in my network that I knew were mothers.
Mhm.
And lo and behold, these women were successful. some of them I didn't even know they were mothers or that they were single mothers because they
Mhm.
didn't talk about their children. They're like, oh, I had a daughter when I was a teenager,
Mhm.
or I had a son, 20 years ago. This is my second marriage. Right. It
Oh,
was all these
yes.
backstories. And these were women who were heavy hitters in the entertainment industry, or they
Yes.
were very high up in the corporate ladder.
Mhm.
And I didn't know they had all this life behind them.
Mhm.
And Single Moms Planet really started with wanting to shift the narrative of what you heard or what you felt or smelled or the touch of when you hear the term single mom.
Mm. And so how did you play into this, Cole?
We went through a lot of brainstorming because that was one of the main focuses. Like, we're not impoverished, and
Right.
that's not our story.
Mhm.
Although we were born to single mothers and they
Right.
might have had hardship,
Right.
that's not what we were dealing with. We were
Mhm.
dealing with transition as far as building businesses and brands that were that we could introduce to our children and be happy with generational wealth, so those were some of the topics and conversations we would constantly have. We weren't having like conversations about, oh, well, this did this happened, like that wasn't our story. It was like,
Yes.
how do we're very progressive women, how do we move forward and move onward and upward with children and still provide them with a very
Stable.
charm lifestyle and stable
Yeah.
lifestyle. So that was one of the things, is really just focusing on changing that narrative about what single motherhood looked like. And like Neferteri said, like speaking to other mothers, we saw a huge dynamic of what that looked like versus what it looked like for our parents or our mother at that time. So that was the main focus, just to show motherhood as empowering.
What is when mothers are coming to join your nonprofit or to take part? Is there anything that stands out? Like, if you had to say the one key thing, I think that is missing is the conversation or the lack of therapy or being good or wise with money and choices, or not even knowing what to do with your money. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could have a lot of money and you're not really familiar how you need to be investing. Is there anything that kind of sticks out that you'll find that most single moms are coming to you? Like,
Financial literacy.
Financial literacy. I also think that most of the mothers that come to us,
Yeah.
they have a stagnated dream that has never been fulfilled. Right. So a lot of them are setting aside their dreams and their visions as they are launching their children. And as the children grow older, they're realizing that there are some things that they never really got to have an adventure around or explore or just to put themselves first. I definitely believe that we're able to help that woman express the vision, really go into the dream state, and then come up with an execution plan for her to have that full life.
Oh, wow. So it's almost like a business plan or a life plan or
life plan mixed in with, like Cole was just saying, our core foundation is financial literacy.
Yeah.
Because even as you vision and you dream and you launch and you execute, if you don't really know how to not only acquire income, but what do you do with it when you get it? Right? How do you invest it?
Sure.
Even having money conversations. That's why when Cole was just saying a few minutes ago, most of our conversations were about business, legacy. How do we create wealth? How do we want the children set up? Wills, trusts, successors to the businesses that we had. We were having those conversations, and we noticed that the narrative about single mothers was that they weren't having those conversations and we weren't buying it. Because we're like, if we're having those conversations, the other mothers that we're having conversations with are also having those dialogues with us. We need to build a community that's focused on this so people can understand, like, single mothers are not just the down and out story.
Right.
And it hopes to inspire other women that were probably have that very trauma experience where there was hope and you can get out of it, but it's all about mindset and really just having something that you believe in and passionate about and seeing if it works, and just building out that whole brand. I guess what brand image awareness, what that looks like far as a business and how to
and accountability.
And accountability is
huge.
Very huge.
It's someone that just believes in you.
Right.
Sometimes you just need that space for someone that's like, I know
and
you're
it
quiet.
only takes one.
Yeah, you just need one.
Yeah.
I know you're quiet over there this week. I still believe in you. You
Right.
got it.
Right. And honestly, I think that is one of So, like when I was going through my divorce, so I'm one of those ones when you talk about um, putting your life on pause or whatever,
Right.
when I started having the kids. So, my everything really went into my children, into my ex. Like, when we first met, he told me what the dream was. And if that's what you want, we're going to make that happen. Do you know what I mean? And so, that same sort of energy and wisdom that I put into him to help him make a lot of money and to to realize the dream is now what I put into myself. But I don't honestly, and I don't think if I would have gotten divorced, I would not be on this podcast. And I would still be pouring probably into him and still my children. And I still pour into, but now I've just created space for me too. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like there are things that I do want to do. And I don't want to be 80 talking about I coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? How many of those stories can you hear? Because at some point, somebody gonna say, but you didn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
That's a beautiful journey though.
You know?
It is.
Yeah.
And give yourself some grace too.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like we all transition and shift when we're needed or supposed to. I don't believe that anything happens just by, okay, it's growth.
Right.
It's shifting relationships, fizzle away, and people change and want different experiences. So that's, I just always say with women, like, we need to give ourselves some grace, especially as a mother. We do. I did it for my oldest. I poured in a lot. I stayed in the entertainment business too long for her because I knew how much money I could make.
Right.
I had goals and I wanted to see her off to, college and all those things. So, this was my time, but my new kids, my younger kids, to be able to do that, I'm doing the same thing. It's like really being selfish in that sense. And, I have those talks with my kids all the time. Yeah.
That's good. And then, so now, were you, with your kids younger, is that when you were starting the skincare line? Like, what happens? Are you working on Usher one day and say, listen, you really need some good moisturizer? Like what? Where did it? Or have you always? Because you have great skins for real.
Thank
like
you.
it's looking real good. So I mean, how do you and how? Why men? Like why wouldn't you? Most. I'm just yeah. How do you end up in the men's?
Well,
line?
I will say I've always loved spa and skincare.
Usher probably has beautiful skin. Okay.
Yes, he does.
I don't know. Ain't nobody talked about Usher skin, but I'm just saying.
So yeah, I've always been into skincare, and spa and all of that for so long, and with working with Usher for so many years. He actually came to me. I remember, and this is so funny because I don't know if he would remember, but it was at that point of transition with my kids. I was tired of the business. I was like, I don't want to do this no more. Like there's other things I want to do. I want to direct. I want to have my own brand. I want to do this, that, and the other. And he was like, asking me, not right now. I got something big happening. Just what is it that you want to do? Create something. Create a makeup line. Create something. What is it? You're so good at this. And I was like, well, I don't want to do makeup. I want to do something else. And he was like, well, you always tell me about my skin and so I've always kept him on point with his skin, making sure he getting facials. If he get a pimple or a blemish, he's like, Cole, what's this? Like that's always been. And it was probably would have been very easy to do a woman's line, but he's been my long lasting client. I've specialized in male grooming, especially for Black men. And it's been something that I've been proud to announce. And I've helped many, many men with their skin, including him. And it just made sense to do. And it was at Neferteri and I were, we were in Long Beach having brunch. And I came about it. And it was like, because I think you mentioned something too, was kind of like,
I was
makeup.
pushing her.
She was like, makeup. And so I was like, no, I'm not into it. And I was like, skincare for men. I said, it's going to be a skincare. It felt absolutely right. It was no hesitation. It was way before all these pop-up skincare lines that you see now coming that I started developing in 2012. Wow. And it was right through the transition of me going through the separation of my ex and custody and so forth. And I feel like that right there pushed me through to be a little bit, to have something else to hold on to.
So what would you say first is the biggest mistake that men make with skincare? And there could be many, but if you had to say there's one besides not thinking they need it, but is there any like one in one at least one product? I mean, they tend to be, I don't know, maybe men are coming around, but if there's one product, just regular blow gel, what would you say? Is it a moisturizer? Is it that beard oil? I mean, what should they be doing in a product that they should definitely, besides in addition to your product and whatever product she suggests, I'm sure you can go to her line and she's going to tell us how and where we can get it. Right?
Yeah. So that's the great thing about Cole Skincare for Men. It's multifunctional.
Okay.
But the one thing men should do is cleanse their skin. Cleanse their skin, not just with water.
Okay.
But cleanse their skin. It's definitely preventative and it's maintenance. So cleaning your skin with a cleanser, with a warm towel is always going to help you in the long run to balance oil and help the skin feel nice, soft, and smooth. Just it's always cleansing.
Okay. And we have a good cleanser online?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
take a shower.
I
had to throw that in there. Wash.
Wait, are you talking about men or boys?
I was going to say wash.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They need to take a bath.
Some men don't like sitting in the tub.
No, it doesn't have to be.
The tub, you mean just put some water on your butt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do
on
that.
Your butt, between your butt. Sometimes
all of that.
You gotta lift the legs,
lift all the things,
lift all the
things, all the crevices, and
get in there,
and danglings. You gotta get all of it.
Yes, get into it.
And you know what's so funny? As I'm saying it, I'm trying to be politically correct. I could hear Neferteri because we were doing an event, and she told somebody, "You need to wash your face."
They did,
and I was like, "Oh my God!" So
that's the
not
start.
by surprise. I knew she was gonna say, "Wash your ass."
That's what I really wanted to say.
Well, that's what you should have said.
I was like, "Oh,
she was like,
do that."
No, she wanted to say, "Wash your ass." That's exactly what she wanted to say. I'll say it for her.
Okay.
Quote
and
unquote.
Let me just say, in 2023, okay, I'm speaking directly to y'all. In 2023, if y'all men going out here without washing your face and your ass, shame on you. You don't deserve to be with nobody. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Wash all things. Okay, lift whatever. Come on now, you gotta do better.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's funny. Do you have a body wash for them?
You know what? My nephew, her son uses the cleanser, our multi-action cleansing foam, to wash his whole body up. He can actually tell a couple of people on how to wash their ass.
He's good. He's very clean.
He's into his skin.
He's a teenager. He'll be 17. He's never had a pimple, ever.
Wow.
Not once.
And he's been using it since he was 10. We were when I was doing the prototypes and the samples, he was like, they'll go missing because he was taking them and was like, why are they gone so fast?
Yeah.
And he's like, because I've been washing my whole body up. It helps with eczema.
We're like, boy,
what is this? Too expensive of a body wash. But yeah, I do have some hopes and goals of doing like a all-in-one body wash and cleanser.
So what kind, when they go to your website or buy it on through your Instagram, what kind of products do you currently have?
So it's a very small batch boutique company.
Okay.
Everything is multitask, multifunctional, multi-purposeful.
Oh, good.
So there's 2 cleansers. There's 3 different type of facial toilettes, which are your toner pads,
okay,
and also treatment pads. And there's 1 moisturizer, and we have 2 beard oils.
Okay.
But mostly the hero product is the multi-action cleansing foam.
Okay.
And you can't go wrong. That's for all skin types.
Okay.
It's great. You notice a huge difference in your skin instantaneously. Yes. Wow. And and then I have the cleansing, deep cleansing face pads, which are also wonderful as well. Yeah. And they have all the solution, cleanse, exfoliation, hydration, moisture. And those are great for. Yeah, it's in a jar.
Okay.
So it's definitely, the toner pads are more like your balance and your tone.
Yeah.
To pull the skin back up to its pH.
Right.
And also to give you some treatment. So if you're dealing with ingrown hairs, hyperpigmentation, dark spots, that's really well. And then like fatigue, tired, distressed skin, we have one for that. And then for oil control and to reduce the shine, we have those facial toilettes for that as well.
So when you're out and about, do you see, and you're like, God, let me ask you this. Is there if you could get to one celebrity's face,
who would it be?
who would it be? Or do you know?
You know what? Most of it wouldn't be a celebrity. It would be those basketball players.
I knew she was going to say that.
They need
LeBron
the whole
James,
league.
the whole LA Lakers need to come see me.
The whole entire NBA league.
Yes, like their face is so dirty, and I just be wanting to be like,
I got it.
Like
if
seriously.
you could just give me, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be the league. It would be the whole NFL. I mean, NBA. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know some NBA players. Okay. All right.
And it kind of makes sense because they're sweating, they're touching the ball, they're touching each other. So they have a lot of spread of germs, bacteria, all that type of thing. And they probably don't use the right thing for their face. But definitely, please, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. And so then, Neferteri, so with your company, because you are really focused on, is your company for businesses, company, or are they for the individual person trying to break into corporate? Or just start a business?
Definitely both.
Oh, okay.
I work with people who have a company or a business. I've done events with the Clippers.
Okay.
Big corporations all over the US and then also outside of the US.
Okay.
So it just depends on what type of category you go into.
Okay.
But I also work with individuals. So I do media trainings.
Yes.
Brand development, anyone that wants to launch a product or a business.
Yeah.
So it can be someone that has brick and mortar. A lot of my clients have brick and mortar, or they're opening up a chain of companies.
Yes.
Or they're even online companies. Or even like, say someone's a therapist or a lawyer and they just want to have a bigger brand that has more visibility.
Yes.
We work with them as well.
Oh, okay. So is there any company out there that you see either when you're scrolling on your Instagram or whatever, you're like, God, they could really use my help? Is there one, or event planning, or is there like you go to event like, this is some bullshit? Do you know what I mean? Like they should just,
the event space. So I was trained by the reason why I even got into the media and the marketing is really because of my training background with Playboy. So Playboy, although I started off as a Playboy playmate, it really, when I peeled back and became older, I realized that I was in like master's school, right? I was working very closely to Hugh Hefner, who created this, mega company that's iconic. It's, we still know the name, you still see the t-shirts, the brand.
Right.
And we were heavily involved in all of the events and programming. And so I would see events being put on all across the US, even out of the country that I participated in, and sometimes 3 or 4 things happening at one time.
Oh, wow.
Right. So, and that was really what helped me to see Playboy was a company, because at first, because I was working internally, I didn't really see that. But for me, working with all the different brands, Baby Fat, doing fashion shows, Betsy Johnson in New York.
Were really paying attention.
Yeah. So even though I was modeling, I was being hired as a model or even maybe as a television host, I also was able to discover that I was learning the backside of the business, working directly with these CEOs and the executives that started these companies. And so I'm really able to take my entertainment world and my business acumen, and then also how I presented in the entertainment space to really show people how to get their brand out there in a much stronger way than if they were to just maybe only hire a business strategist or only hire a media coach. I'm able to see it from like 5 different levels, and then even from expansion. Right. So if they want to sell the company, what does it need to look like? If they want to grow the business just online or bring in multiple streams of income, I'm able to see it from a bird's eye view.
Oh, that's really interesting. Now, is there any company, or have you ever turned down a company or a person, or like, I just don't think I'm a good fit?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Probably every month I'm turning down a company or someone that I don't feel is ready to work with me. If they're a single mother, because we definitely work a lot with mothers. We also work with athletes, corporations and companies and things of that nature. if they're a single mother, I'm able to bring them over to Single Moms Planet and say, hey, check out some of our grant opportunities so that you can tap into some education.
Yes.
And then come back to me when you feel as though you're ready. We'll have another call.
Right.
The reason is that you have to be ready for visibility, right? So like if the back wall of the business is not operating or functioning properly now, and then you go and add visibility to it, media to it, it's just falling apart even more. And then it's even more aggressive. And you're crying, you're stressed out, you don't have the resources, you can't keep up with the need. And it's just not good for the business owner. And so I really deter clients from starting with me too early because it's not necessarily butterflies and unicorns, right? When you commit to something, you have to show up and you have to present well, right? It's like us even coming on this show, we had to get some rest. We had to look a particular way when we get here, you know, out of respect for your platform and your audience, right? So there's an exchange when people are doing business. There's an exchange when there's visibility present.
Oh, so I totally threw you off today with the bodysuit.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I should have threw on a jacket. Okay.
No, no. I said business, not a particular way. Yeah. So your business is your business, right? Your visibility is your visibility. Right. The way you want to present your brand is how you want to present your brand. Right. So you're good. You look great to me. When I saw you in person, I was like, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks.
And you have assets.
You look great. Yeah. No. So we help companies get sexy. We help companies.
Well, I know who you should be
even
helping.
our Cole Skincare for Men is we add sex appeal to that brand as well.
Oh yeah, when we do our grooming events, we want the girls to look a particular way.
Absolutely, because we're attracting men, and these are high level men.
Yes. Okay, so this is who I think you ought to help.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure she's ready though.
Okay.
She by Sheree.
Oh my God.
She by Sheree.
Sheree Winfield from Housewives of Atlanta, who've been trying to launch an athleisure line for 12 years.
Ooh, okay.
She need help, but I'm not sure she got the resources.
Okay.
And I'm not sure she's ready. Okay. But we've been waiting on just a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, and then when she finally launches the shit, it comes from Shein, okay? But she's selling it for $88 or $125 or whatever. Look at last year's episode. I don't know. Just do a quick. You know what? You only got to look at the reunion. But she by Sheree, and she better thank me, okay? If it work out between y'all, she better thank me because she needs a lot of work. What do you think? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I don't know her personally.
No, but do you know her story?
I know a little bit of the story, and I do realize she's been trying to launch She by Sheree for quite some time.
Yes.
However, I don't believe Neferteri and her would be a great fit. And the reason why, because I know her, and just the way that you have to be coachable.
Yes.
You have to be coachable.
Oh, okay.
And if you think that you just know everything and you're not willing to take that type of constructive criticism to help elevate you and get out of your own way, it's not going to work.
Well, you know what? I think that you so you got real deep with it. Okay, so that's good. No, that's good. Because I was looking at a very surface level. But now that you say all that, I remember in an episode, Candy, who whether or not you like her or not, from SWV. Wait,
Candy.
No.
We know each other.
Okay. So who is a business person, right?
Okay.
She says she has really tried to help now that you say all that, she has really tried to help Sheree with information, infrastructure, and all that. And Sheree was like, I got it. I know.
Right.
So I think you're right about the coachability of
it. So she had a jewel right there that was offering free information. And right. Candy has been such a her we're not even want to talk about the stuff that she's written and crossed over. She did very well in the music business with Escape, with her sex producers line. Candy was somebody that she had her in her scope and didn't take any advice. That's not gonna work with her.
So forget everything I just said.
That's okay.
That was a part of the show where Kenny didn't know what the shit she was talking about. Okay.
No, but it was a great. It definitely, because I'm sure Neferteri is gonna be like, well, who's
yes. But I think I do agree with Cole. I don't think she's coachable. I don't. So that would really be not a waste of your time because you probably wouldn't even do it, but very frustrating. But it is frustrating as a viewer, and I don't really watch the show so much, but I'm so tired of hearing about this athleisure line that honestly I feel is never going to happen. And once the whole Shein part of it that she had ordered, they use the same manufacturer, but she's charging a lot more or whatever for hers, and I'm sure it happens all the time. But once I know about it now, it just really becomes an overall joke. And then with Candy to say, I tried to help her for free, and I think she says for free. I tried to help her for free.
You got to be likable.
Yes,
you got to be likable. So this is the thing and we're always down with Single Moms Planet, and it just even as mothers and as women, especially Black women, to be able to foster some type of help and insight and communicate with you on help elevating you, empower you, and get you to think blossom. Blossom and all that. But at the same time, if it become too resistant and contradictory, there's no need, because you're not ready. You know what I mean? And sometimes you could think your idea is that great, and it could be, but you have to get out your own way. And then on top of that, selling clothes, you have to be likable. There has to be a certain, you can grab a niche, but are you charismatic? Do you draw people, and do people want to be around you? Do they want to tell their friend like this? I don't see that. Like I said, I don't know the lady, but what is portrayed on TV, that's part of branding, and you want to make sure that it's not contradictory of what you're saying versus what you're doing. Yeah.
Oh, well, sorry about that. Sorry, Sheree, you should have worked with Candy when she wanted to work with you. We ain't never gonna see She by Sheree. Okay. But okay, so has anyone ever crossed your path, maybe through the nonprofit, that you're like, this is a really good idea, or she has it, maybe the idea or whatever she wants to do needs a little tweaking, but have you come across somebody who's like, God, she got it?
Absolutely. All the time. I believe that once a woman enters the Single Moms Planet realm or crosses over into elevated strategists, she already normally has either found us from someone that's already worked with the company.
Oh, okay.
Right? Or she is looking at what's being presented via my socials, Cole socials, everything's kind of, linked in together at some point, or Single Moms Planet, and they're knowing that they need to have a certain level of readiness, right? And even on the websites, even before you can book a call, we're very clear, right? There's no hand holding. We're not telling you what to do. We're not giving you an idea. You need to already come ready with what it is that you're doing and how you want that to grow. And then we're just going to give you the expansion plan. Right. So they definitely, have these beautiful ideas. We're just helping expand it.
Right.
And it's kind of a joke even between the clients, where they're always like, when they do testimonials or they talk to our audience, they're like, they never tell us what to do. Right. We never tell someone what to do because it's you. It's not our idea coming through you. You need to believe it. You need to wake up blood, sweat, and tears and still want to win at it. We could be at the spa, but you're on set doing your show. We can't tell you what to do, but we can polish it. We can make it better and bigger and grander, but you have to want it first. Yeah. So we always start there. It's like, are you ready to put the assets and the work together? And then shutting out certain things. You can't do this type of work and see your business go to another level, and you have the same phone calls with your auntie every night at 5, right? Or you're making the same space for the friends that you've had for the last 25 years and you've never made a dime together, right? And that doesn't mean you can't circulate them back into your life, but when you're building something like this, you need velocity. You need white space. You need rest. Right? You need time to be great. And that's a part of what we teach as well. Like, don't try to do it all, especially when you're launching something or you're growing a brand or a business. This is not possible. You shouldn't.
Okay, so if someone wants to get involved with Single Moms Planet, how do they go about that? And who is the right candidate?
For Single Moms Planet, so we have a couple of different options. Okay. So we have a regular community, which is like women who are either climbing the corporate ladder, or they are women who are looking to be in business. Like they want to have their own company, their own corporation. The qualification is that you have a dream, right? You want to see it fulfilled. You want the tools. So that's the first step. if you're in our S&P 100, so there's another level. We have an S&P 100 that we do every year. It's funded through our Single Moms in Business Initiative, which is a $750,000 grant that we have every year that supports financial literacy, business coaching, coaching around media and press. If you want to apply for that, then you need to be able to pre-qualify. So there's an application that you fill out. But for the collective of the single mother community that fits that working mom focus, you're welcome, right? But if you want to go to that next level, then you do need to qualify for those programs and those grants.
And where do you see, like, what is your vision, or is there anything, or do you see Single Moms Planet, is it pretty much where you want it to be, or is there still growth that you guys talk about or would like to have happen for the organization?
National.
Yeah. So different chapters. Is that what that means?
Different
chapters.
Oh,
no.
Not different chapters.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I was gonna say, wait, no. I take that back.
Chapters.
Not different chapters.
Okay. There's a national headquarters, but the program,
the reach,
right? Yeah, national reach. Yeah,
exactly. National reach. I was like,
national reach. Not like no.
We don't want different chapters. We do plan on partnering with. So our best fit is with the world of sports because it brings in Cole Skincare for Men and it bridges in Single Moms Planet.
Okay.
So partnering with organizations like the NBA as a whole, the NFL as a whole, the MLB as a whole, and working directly with the teams that are local to those cities or states, and then as a conglomerate across those different fields of sport. And really connecting with men who want to also support fatherless children, right? So we're blessed to have co-parents and our children are older. They're mostly with their fathers. That's why we're able to do this type of programming, right? We have a lot of support. A lot of women don't.
Right.
Some women don't have the father of their children at all, right? Their parents are also passed away. We've heard they have the father of their children could have passed away as well. She could be a widow. And so we need those mentors for those boys and also for those girls as well, right? And then what we do with that particular initiative is we bring in Cole Skincare for Men because it's going to help them with their grooming, how to take care of yourself, how to have etiquette, how to have manners, how do you communicate in a business meeting, right? How do you just represent yourself as a young man? And then also for our girls, we do a lot of great curriculum for them as well. But we notice that boys need sometimes the guidance, you know, they're that foundation for their families when they have them in the future. And so that's really important for us as well. And that's our Man Enough initiative.
Oh, Man Enough. I love it.
Yes, Man Enough initiative. And that's too because we want a lot of women, single women are raising sons.
Right.
And, you know, we want to be able to have those boys that have a fair chance and step into their natural being, whatever that is, you know what I mean? And I believe that it starts with confidence. It starts with those mentorships, with the athletes and people that they look up to. We used to do that years ago, you know, where mentors, I mean, there was company like the Boys and Girls Club and so forth, but now we've grown so far away from that. So we want to bring that back. And connect that, you know, and it's definitely it's a double-edged sword. It's two different aspects, but we're bringing it together because we both have sons.
Right.
And we know that a lot of women have sons and need that support.
They don't have those male figures.
Have you found support within the leagues, the MLB, the NBA, the NFL?
We found local support in the Los Angeles area, particularly with the LA Rams and then also with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then I think you need to throw some product their way. Like at the beginning of the season, I think in their little lockers, you have a little gift bag. So when they come back in, you know, for shoot around or practice or whatever, they are welcomed back with a cute little bag. Or just a little something.
What we notice about the skincare line.
I was about to say that. They need to be taught.
They have to be in front of us.
Yes.
if we put something in their locker, it more than likely won't be used or won't be used properly. We've given athletes some things and I see them in person and I'm like, what's happening with your face? They're like, I've been using the product. I'm like, it's impossible. You look a hot mess. I don't know what you've been using. They're like, oh, I've been using this. And I'm like, that's not the face wash. Did you read the bottle? They're like, oh, that's the moisturizer, sir. Right. So they have to be in front of us with step-by-step guidance. And it's really because most of them are just using Zest.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
They're using whatever in
I have
their...
another idea.
And that's the thing too, is like they may be using soap, but men are the mechanical nature is this.
Yes.
And
so
when it comes to that point,
I've solved it.
Please tell us.
Okay. When in the locker rooms, in the showers,
we pop out.
What?
we pop out in the shower.
And wash their face for
I'm not looking.
Like, come on, kid.
Right. I'm not looking. Yes, okay. But also, you know how when you go to a hotel, sometimes they have like your shampoo, your body wash, or whatever in the shower, like in a big thing. So you just squirt. Because I do think men are creatures of habit, right? So I think whatever they are currently using in that shower, you need some sort of deal to switch that out with your product. And listen, I know how to make some fucking money.
Okay.
I know that's right.
So yes, it is, you know what I mean? But now they just squirt, body wash, whatever. Your face wash. I mean, that will give it, you know, like, you guys do with your pretty girls and you bring your pretty girls down and I don't know, do you set up like a whole station? Like, how are you teaching?
We
like
do.
A spa.
Grooming
it's a
lounge.
whole grooming lounge.
Oh,
Just like
grooming
a spa.
lounge.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, you know, then they like, because, you know, they say you say 3 things and it becomes like people say, oh yeah, I know that. So you do your little grooming, you do not a little, because let me tell you something about it. When people say little, I think that's so fucking dismissive. So I don't mean little. You do your grooming lounge, even if it is little, like a little space, whatever. You do that grooming lounge and then they've heard the product, you know, and then they, you know, and they in the gym or whatever, and they go to change, shake the shower. Damn, there the product is again. Squirt. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And, you know, so it becomes like, oh, you know,
it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They definitely need to be because especially athletes are so like their mechanical nature is not that of various steps.
Right.
That's why they use the same lotion over their head to toe, you know, so it's almost like a retraining and it's best done when it's in person because they captivate, especially when they see what happens. We do like a little demo test beat on their back of their hand and they see the difference. Now then they're dialed in and want to know more.
They want to try it.
It's just a visual captive. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. All right. That was okay. So I don't know. I got to keep thinking on the rest of it, but you only need 1 or 2 leaders of the team.
It's true.
You know what I mean? To be like, you looking.
They look brand new.
Yeah.
They're like, what's going on here?
You know what's so funny? But we noticed too, guys don't be wanting to tell other guys their secret.
Black people are such gatekeepers. I can't stand it. For real. They are such gatekeepers, and especially when it comes to a fragrance. Don't think you're going to ask somebody what you're wearing. They're going to be like, I don't know, it's a sample. Or people are such gatekeepers about information. I think, I just think, I don't know. I think Black people are the worst. Like I've gotten really, I mean, it's the truth. I don't know. I'm sorry. Everybody that is giving me real information, and I'm from Oakland, but everybody that's really shared most, I shouldn't say everybody, most. All my mentors have always been white. I have never had, and when it comes to business, I have never had a Black woman like open up and say, pick me up and say, I'm going to show you the ropes about this or that. If someone stepped in my case, they have always been white. And let me tell you something about white people. They know they way around everything. Banking, buying a house, starting a company. I mean, and I don't know if just
they created the systems.
Well, okay, and they know them, all right, and they are willing to share with you. And unlike Sheree, I am like,
you're
coachable.
Okay, what? Yeah. Shut up and listen, and that goes to any room that I am, you know, in with anybody that knows more than me. I don't need to talk.
You're coachable.
And even being able to, I'll just add this one part. I think really the key to, as well, is being able to ask the right question.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times we ask a question, but we don't really know what our end goal is. So we don't have the actual questions that we need to truly ask.
Mm-hmm.
So we get half the information
Mm-hmm.
or a quarter of the information. And then we think we know,
Mm-hmm.
and then we start taking action.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done enough background work, enough research,
Mm-hmm.
made enough phone calls. You've
Mm-hmm.
made 2 phone calls, make 3 more,
Mm-hmm.
right? Ask 2 other people that same question that you asked to that one person.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just lean on that one
Mm-hmm.
communication. Now, look, if you're working with someone that has built millions and millions of dollars into a particular field,
Right.
more than likely you can roll with them, but they even still may be missing a step because there's so many years ahead. There could be a step that they're not adding into the
Mm-hmm.
mix that you just don't know
Mm-hmm.
and that they've forgotten
Mm-hmm.
because it's just so natural to them. Yeah.
And I would just say that about real estate. So,
Mhm.
my thing is real estate. I love
Mm-hmm.
real estate. I like to dabble in it. I like to flip properties, and and now I'm into buying properties. And what I've learned is, so I was flipping, I don't know, 12, maybe 12 houses, 12 to 15 houses a year, which is small compared to the people I know in the business. These guys, 150 houses. I mean, they're real investors. But what I learned really through COVID is, like, when I'm talking to them about, I think I want to start holding property, which is something I never wanted to do. But and you talk about legacy and building wealth, I really want to get into holding property and apartment buildings and stuff. And this is what uh, 2 of the richest ones that I know, I mean, we talk about hundreds of millions of dollars, is like, so one guy who still makes a great little living, but he said, I don't deal with Section 8. That was his thing. I don't deal with Section 8. Okay. The 2 other guys that are in the hundreds of millions said, oh no, our portfolio is vast. We have Section 8 and we have non-Section 8. When COVID happened and people didn't have to pay their rent, Section 8 was still paying. So the guys that had a good mix, they were doing okay. So this dude over here, who's worth, I don't know, about 75 million, maybe 60 million, he was losing his ass.
Right.
Because even those people that had all that money decided they didn't want to pay rent because they didn't have to pay rent.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I learned a lot from that, because I was like, yeah, I don't want to deal with Section 8. I don't think I want to do that either. I was like, foolish. To me, that was foolish. That wouldn't work for me. I would need a good mix of properties. And then the other guys were like, this is how you deal with Section 8. You do it on a point system. Have they been employed for 3 years? Have they had, if they've been employed for they've been employed for a year, that's 5 points. Have they had an eviction within the last 3 years? They have? Oh, that's -5. So he had this whole point system, and it had nothing to do with color. It was all about stability.
Right.
It was all about stability. So he made Section 8 work for him, and he's killing it right now.
And look, you just proved the point. Don't just stop at one communication and having the right questions to ask, right? So you have one person with a strategy, and then you have 2 others with 2 totally different strategies, and then they're recession proofing their strategies.
Correct. Yes.
Right? They're up there because the markets go up and down, no matter what market we're in. And how do you win no matter what?
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I feel like that's the beauty with Single Moms Planet, though. We have this information and we're offering that information. We just don't hold it to ourselves. There's things in business that we've made bad decisions, and we've learned from them. And we wish we would have had someone that could have stopped us or guided us or mentored us through these processes, especially with the skincare line, especially with Single Moms Planet. So we offer that advice and we share that to hope that these ladies don't make the same mistake, So there are, I feel like it's just finding your right tribe.
I think that is true, because although coming up so I own a travel company and I've done some stuff, but I would say as I am having lunch or at different functions and stuff, I have come across women and Black women who, even if it was a nugget, they probably didn't even realize they were sharing some little gem about life, about divorce, about business or whatever. They were not a full-on mentor to me, but I just think it is so important to know when to listen. You know what I mean? You ain't always got to share your story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just listen, especially when you are surrounded by so much information. You take it in, and some stuff will work for you and some won't. Do you know what I mean? And people will answer questions. I think you just have to have the right questions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The right question.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, okay. So how long did it take you to start a skincare line? Because like you said, there's so many like just pop-ups. And I'm just like, are y'all getting y'all stuff from Shein too?
No.
Not you, but all
Yeah.
these pop-ups. Like, are we researching? Like, what is going on here?
I am big on research. Cole Skincare for Men, like I said, is a small batch boutique company. It's not a private label.
Yes.
I actually hired a chemist. I did it the hard, expensive way because I knew what I wanted the functionalities and the capabilities to be in a formula. Hired a chemist. Then I hired a consultant. Then I, did my research and all of that. So it took me for I think like to really get it up and running.
Yes.
And I launched the first product at least 2.5, 3 years.
Oh wow.
And I've been hands-on with everything, the graphics, the design, the messaging, everything. So yeah, and it's constantly, we're peeling back and looking at the market, researching, see what men are doing. More men are getting involved in skincare. There's so many different now Black-owned skincare products. With me, I stand out because I'm an expert. I'm licensed as an esthetician. I work with dermatologists, plastic surgeons, and also had training in Sedesto in public speaking. And I've always been into skincare.
Hey. I mean, and you're a good billboard for skincare. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want it in a big box store at all, or that's really not?
I'll let her tell the story.
I knew you were going to go into that.
I'll let her tell the story.
Well, I kind of pushed her. I pushed her into it.
A reason because there's a story behind it.
Okay.
Right. So at one point, Cole definitely was looking at having it in like a Target type of experience. And one day I noticed that we were talking about different marketing strategies, and she was really stuck on this thing about the big box concept. And so I think I just picked her up from her house and I said, let's go into the stores and look and see what the products are doing. How are they placed? What are some of the ingredients in the products? What's their price point? And after we left the stores, I don't think she spoke for about 3 days straight because she realized that there was a goal in her mind that she hadn't really put into a tangible place to the point of she would never want her product really there. The stores currently, how they're set, they're not really showing love and care to particularly the male area, and the price points are too low. They're not really designed for a luxury product. This is more of a premium luxury product, right? The type of client that we attract is someone that is they're not just like shopping only at CVS for their product. Right. And a lot of the times there are men who shop at those stores that can come into the Cole Skincare for Men world, but they just don't know that they can get access to it, right? That there's a better option. And so I think we would do good at like a Bloomingdale's.
I was going to say,
Saks, Neiman's, even high-end luxury hotel. Those types of boutique experience where, men are looking for so our product is a lifestyle product. It's an experience-based product. It's not just something that you just pick up and wash and go. It's like, this is a part of your lifestyle. You're flying here, you're traveling. You like to look good. You like your whole persona to mean something. Because we do community events as well, right? So they're private events. We do grooming lounges. We have events that are just for our customers and our clients. So when they become a part of Cole Skincare for Men and they purchase the product, they're also a part of Cole Skincare for Men for life.
Yeah, and it's funny, reason that I'll extend this because it was one of those things. But when I first developed and had the vision to do Cole Skincare for Men, I knew I wanted to solely be an online store.
Oh, okay. Do you still
I knew
feel
that
way?
the future of buying was going to be online. And I started listening to people that had never had a skincare line or had a product or had a vision of what this is and so forth. So I started listening to all these sound bites, and then I just was like, well, maybe I would do better if I was in a big box store. So I started revamping the line to be able to qualify to be in these stores. But it always was, and then I got approached by Target and other stores. So having that field trip that we took, it stunned me because, and I will say this to anybody, when you have a inspiring concept or thought that's given to you, you know what that is, and stay with it. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I lost probably like 2 years of going back to my original process of why I created the line, so I'm like, now I'm being just very, very intentional and focused on, I know why I created this, especially when COVID happened. I was like, everybody's gonna be online at home buying stuff, you know what I mean? I was like, the future of buying is online. Men are not going to go to the store. They don't just browse and shop around unless they're with their woman or their wife, their girlfriend, sister, mother, whatever. But they're intentional buyers, so that's what I knew. I've been working with men for over 20 years, as their therapist too.
Skincare and therapy go together.
Yes,
Yeah.
So I know the process of how they think in their psyche.
I do not want to diminish what you're saying, but okay, so when I first read your bio and I saw that you were did makeup or whatever for Usher, I was like, how old is she? Is she older than Usher? Because she better watch out. Because Usher likes to keep it close, okay? You don't say shit. Usher likes to keep it close, okay? So if you in the Usher atmosphere, you work closely with a manager, a stylist or whatever, and you older, you have an opportunity. That is just me saying this. Ain't nobody co-signing or nothing. But I did say.
That has been whenever people know that I work with him, that's been something said. But I will say that it's all family, it's all love. I've been with him.
We know it's all love. Okay, we know that. Okay, you ain't got to tell us.
Love in a club, right?
I'm a huge Usher fan. Okay, but let me ask you. So, are you? Maybe this is a good idea for an event. Like, what if you guys did some of these golf events? Not at a very high level golf events, because is it easy enough to have a presence there to show how to do it?
Absolutely.
Like something like that. I don't know
golf
the
events,
equipment that you
it could work. It could work on a golf
events
event.
will be good. Like
I think high level now.
Yeah.
Right.
High level.
Like tournament, golf tournament. Absolutely.
Yes.
The celebrity driven and high tournament.
Yes.
Yeah. We go and look at a spot that we were going
We did. It was at a golf course.
Yeah, we were going to.
But I mean, just add on to like
no,
a
absolutely
Tom Brady
not doing
golf.
our own
No, we're not
thing.
going to do our own.
Yeah,
but
right.
Yeah. No, it would be.
Absolutely.
Those are the type of lifestyle integrations we like and that will fit.
That fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you can go to Florida. You just got to pretend, because a lot of money in Florida. You just got to pretend like they, forget that they don't like you because you Black. Okay. But
the product is really for Black men. This product is formulated for Black men.
You guys should get in contact with the Black lawyers and doctors associations, because they do their, what do you call those conferences?
Absolutely.
And you guys are pretty. Ooh.
Yes. Yes.
They gonna be having their hands out. Rub it, baby, rub it. I don't know. I mean, they can afford the product.
Yes,
like for real.
Absolutely. That would definitely.
Black engineers and
some
Black,
of the fraternity conferences as well, like the
fraternities.
Yeah. So
we've had some really great experiences with the Los Angeles firefighters.
Ooh, let me tell you something.
Yeah, we sold out. We were selling empty bottles.
Yes.
We were like, there's really nothing left in the bottle. They're like, we'll take it anyway.
Well, let me just say, I love me I have never had a firefighter come up to me to try to get to know me, to take me out. They ain't jumping in my DMs. They're not in my messenger or anything like that. I got everything else, but I ain't never had a fire. I love.
There's something to love. We
were,
were,
and they in the turnout.
Yeah,
and they got a little suit like they coming home like from saving a cat in a tree. That is so sexy, and they have I've never had a firefighter come on to me. And I like that 3 days gone and then you come home.
That schedule is what's up.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You'll attract it now. You just put it out there.
They'll
Come
see it.
on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
But you gotta have your shit together. But come on, because I love being a firefighter. I love a firefighter. So, but yeah, I've just never had that. So, but oh my gosh, it was so fun to talk to you guys. Okay, I do want to just ask this because if you were what would you say single women, single moms are looking for in a well, a lover would maybe be different than in a mate, but like if you were going to seriously date somebody, what are single moms that you find that they're talking about? Like, what are they looking for? My kids are older, so I'm just looking for a good time. But you know, like for real, like what are, you're divorced, and when you were dating or in the field or whatever, what are some things that you were looking for?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Yeah, really.
I would definitely say the first thing is an understanding that every woman that's a single mother does not have the need for you to be a father to her children. Correct. And she does not need you to necessarily provide for her children. That doesn't mean that she doesn't want you to have the heart and that's your character of who you are as a man. But don't assume that you're taking on something. Right? Because a lot of the women have very active fathers. A lot of the women also have their own financial income, right? They could be looking for a partner, but not necessarily someone to come in and save the day with a cape.
Right.
And I think a lot of men are assuming this. Yeah. Right? And because they're listening to the propaganda.
Yeah.
Right.
I have never, can I just say something though about the propaganda? I talk to a lot of people. And obviously, I talk to a lot of women about dating and what they're looking for, and because I am going to have a dating show, but I'm hosting, not looking. But so I have never, like for real, let's just say I've spoken to over 100 women. I've never heard anyone say that.
Really?
No. Okay. And if someone would have come up to me, I wouldn't have said it either. But hearing you say that, like I did not need a father figure. You know what I mean? My they got a good dad,
right?
Especially my oldest one. So when I got married, I wasn't looking for a father figure. In fact, I will say the smartest thing he did is he knew when to fall back. You know what I mean? If there was something going on between me and my oldest son's biological dad, he made pillow talk to me, but he was never trying to interject that way. Do you know what I mean? He definitely knew when to fall back.
He held that boundary.
Yeah. And I think that really worked, for us when it came to my son and the relationship to my son's father.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I've never heard that. So,
So what are some of the things that women do say?
I mean, the same old thing. Somebody to be loyal, somebody to be respectful. I ain't never heard nobody say, I don't need, well, that's not true. I've heard some people say, like, they don't have to be financially, like, it's just the same old stuff. Nothing, I'm just trying to think. Has anyone said anything? I've had some very wealthy women say they don't need to come to me financially at my level.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not looking for that. And I will say this, like, as I'm dating, I don't need somebody to make as much money as me. And I don't even need somebody to take care of me in that way. To be able to take care of yourself. Do you know what I mean? That's what I need. What I do know is I cannot take care of you. Okay. Right. I got kids. I got grad school. I cannot. Okay. And I don't know what I don't know my baby daddy gonna step up for grad school. Okay. He taking care of undergraduate, but he ain't offered to pay for that grad school yet. But so I just think that I don't know. It's just the same regular stuff. And not that those things aren't important.
Right.
I'm just saying, to hear you say that, I've just never heard it, and I probably wouldn't have said it either.
It's just digging a little bit deeper into the reality of things, because it's deeper. To say financially stable, loyal, trustworthy, those are so simple.
So first of all, any man worth his salt, he already knows what he needs to come in delivering. Right? We don't, a lot of the times we think we have to tell a man everything that he needs to do. He's equipped He knows his role. Now, he could be playing a game, and then you have to be able to identify that as a woman, right? Now, if you're attracting that, then it's something that you may need to go sit down on and figure out, why am I attracting a man that doesn't even want to do the basics of who he knows himself to be, right? It's just natural for them. And it's almost like Cole was just saying, it's not really like you sitting back and saying, what do I truly need? Right? It's almost like the rhetoric of what is already going on in the world. It's a lot of chatter online right now as well about, you know, women and dating a single mom and what does that look like? And, you know, number one, single mothers are, they're just the fluid of the world, right? There's so many things that they accomplish all at the same time while raising their family, sometimes all the way alone. Right? That is a woman of admiration. And even if you don't necessarily...
And they don't take time to stop and think. They just
do. They make it happen.
Right.
The number one thing I would say is, if it's not the number one, I don't know. I feel like the other one was number one. I would say the secondary element is be honest. If you just want to date her, have fun, travel, and you don't really see her as a future, let her know. She may not see you as one either.
Right.
Every man, a lot of the times, think that because they're in her presence, that she sees them as long term. She may have you just as a pocket boo. You just in the pocket.
Right.
You're in the summertime. Right. You Christmas boo.
Right. That's right.
You travel boo.
You travel boo. You know,
go out to eat boo.
A lot of times guys are thinking,
you out to eat.
Right. Or you just in the house. Boo. You just in the house. We don't take you outside.
Yeah, you stay here. I'm coming
in
over.
The house.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. They assume that this woman wants to lock me down. She wants to marry me. Who said you're marriage material?
Right. For me.
Right. For that particular woman. It's a big assumption, and it removes a lot of just relations that can happen between humans.
Right.
Right. Just friendships that can grow. And it may become love for long term, and it may not, but be truthful.
Right.
Don't lead her along. She already has probably elements of trauma or things that she's experienced. She's grown. That's the one thing. You're a single mama, you're grown. You grown.
Right.
You can be super honest with her.
Right.
Yeah. And that's just real and legitimate.
Yes.
You know, be truthful, be honest. Don't feel like you have to sugarcoat something.
And that's hard for a lot of men.
Yeah. Do you think it's hard for women? I don't think women have a problem with it so much.
I feel like women talk too much.
Hush. Hush.
And when you're talking all of that, the man is sitting there assessing everything, and he's putting you in a box, and you lose. Shut up.
It's true.
Don't say shit.
Yeah.
Like literally.
So that's how we're going to end this podcast. Don't say shit. Okay. So let me say, if you looked at this podcast and you didn't get anything out of it, you're an idiot. Okay. That's what I'm just saying. You didn't got advice on how to date, when to talk, when not to talk, when it comes to business, when to talk, what not to talk. You have now been hip to the best male skincare products. You didn't heard it here, okay? Boutique style. So don't think you're paying a CVS price for a Barney's level product, okay? You're not. It is an investment, but it's your face. It is your skin. It's your body. If you're not going to invest in anything, you got to invest in yourself, right? And y'all want to go out here and attract and just look good, and we know how y'all do. So I definitely think you should try this Cole men's skincare.
Cole skincare for men.
Cole skincare for men product. I'm gonna order it for Auntie got some friends. So I'm gonna get some for them. And we've learned a lot about, the organization and
Single Moms Planet.
Planet. And it's really open. It sounds like it is open to everyone. And especially if you are someone who thinks that you have a good business idea, you kind of already know what you want to do and how you want to do it. You just have to be coachable and ready. And if you're not ready, they're going to lead you to what part of the organization you need to be in. But I think that we have learned a lot,
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And follow us on Instagram.
Right. Tell them where they can find you.
At Single Moms Planet.
Okay.
I'm personally at Neferteri Plessy.
Okay.
At Cole Skincare for Men.
Okay. And we can order the product through
the website.
Okay.
It's www.coleskincareformen.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to order some. Okay. Hero. Is that the one? Like if you get one product.
It's the multi-action cleansing foam.
Okay. The multi-action cleansing foam. If you only can or you want to try one to start, that's what we're going to try. Okay. We're starting off with that. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Such a great time.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Absolutely.
Good. Yeah, good. I got some good gems for you guys. And She by Sheree, go back to Candy and ask her, will she rethink and still give you some advice? I don't think you're ready for this. I think you're going to be pushed over to not quite ready gear yet, but go back to Candy and thank you so much. All right, once again, thank you for tuning into the Truly Kenya podcast. However you decided to watch us on your favorite podcast platform or YouTube, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you as always. I am so grateful for your time, and I hope that you are enjoying the interviews, the people that I'm introducing you to, the products that I'm introducing you to, and go check them out. Get the products. I'm telling you, I don't ever tell you guys about no shit that ain't good. I never, ever, ever have I led you down the wrong pathway. You know that. So I'm saying, go get it. All right. Thanks. Bye.